What's going on? Welcome back, friends and degens. This is episode 27 of the Axis of Combat podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Boogie Kahuna, Big Boogie, Ray, my co-host.
Hugo the boss, Hugo got next, you already know. And before we get started, you guys already know the business. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody watching on YouTube right now, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. Subscribe, like, drop a comment. Let us know what you think.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, you already know. Now, before we get into this UFC card that's coming up this weekend, as well as the big boxing fight this weekend, we're going to recap some of our bets from last weekend. Not the best night. Better than most, though, what I will say from what I've read. A lot of people got hammered. I guess we'll kick it off with what we bet and what we nailed, right? So, actually, let's start with what we got wrong.
I think we should do...
It's a lot.
Just pick one side, just go down the list, and then pick the other guy, and then we go down the list. I think that's the best way to approach this because we got a lot of picks.
Yeah. All right, so we both had Karine Silva via the knockout.
That was a nope.
No. We both had Lee via decision. I had Lee straight. Rodriguez sub. We had Batista split decision, which it should have been, to be quite frankly.
Should have been, yeah.
Should have been. We had Gary sub, which he went for in the third round of the fight and had it locked in.
With 10 seconds left.
Should have had it. We had Weili Zhang inside the distance, which would have hit against anyone not named Amanda Lemos that night.
Exactly.
We had Sterling inside the distance. We had fight ends in sub between Weili and Lemos. And we had a couple of parlays that got blown up. So we had Rodriguez, Gary, and Weili via sub. That was a long shot one because it was plus 10,000. We had...
none of those subs hit.
None of them hit.
Some of them should have hit, but...
We had fight does not go to distance. Petrosky, Mershot, Rodriguez, Tuellen, and Weili Lemos. We had... My brother had a Tavares, Vera, and Batista knockout parlay.
Another long shot.
We had fight goes the distance. My brother had, actually, not me. Lee Silva, Katona Gibson, and Hubbard Holloway.
Almost hit that one, but
almost hit that one.
Holloway bust me up.
I had a parlay. The only parlay that hit from between both of us. Tavares, Gary, and both of their money lines. Then Vera Munoz over 2.5 rounds. And then we got some PFL picks, which put us down half a unit. Librock, knockout TKO at plus 650. Kelly inside the distance. Gostov knockout. Then we have Pacheco, Kolesnik, round 1 knockout. And Ferreira Green, first round knockout. So, just to let you guys know, that may sound like we got a lot wrong. Actually, I didn't even finish. Sorry,
no, we still got
a couple of winners. Okay, so
just real quick, I feel like the Kelly inside for the PFL should have hit.
Yep.
Gosloff, that was just a 50-50. He got the sub instead of the KO, but whatever.
Yep.
LeBrock, we completely
long
missed.
shot.
Yeah,
long shot. It's 650.
Yeah,
I'll take it. And she did a good job initially, but then she got taken to the floor, and she actually did decent. So homegirl armbarred her. But But regardless, now we move on to our winners outside of that parlay and those two winners from PFL. Karine Silva's money line. Katona via decision. Holloway money line. Good dog shot there. Vera via decision. Batista via knockout of decision. And then I had Karine Silva twice. Yeah, and those are our winners. Now, guys, you will look at our bets, especially if you have us on Twitter. You will see that it's a lot of red. It's a lot of X's. We're going to start breaking up, and I was talking to my brother about this because I think people are a little confused on how to, gamble.
Yeah.
We're going to start breaking up what's like a long shot bet and value. And the reason why we have a lot of that, because there was a lot of this on this card. And I liked a lot of our bets. Batista, that was a split decision. You could have argued.
That should have been a split.
You could have argued Blackshear won the fight.
Yeah, you want the real. I thought Blackshear might have won that fight.
How crazy is that?
That's just watching it live. I thought Blackshear. All credit to Blackshear.
Short notice.
A week turnaround.
Yep.
4 days to make weight again at 135. He looked damn good in there.
He showed some inefficiencies with Batista.
A little bit.
Batista's a hammer.
Batista's
he's a beast. Yeah. But what I will say is, like if you look at some of these lines we're playing, guys, plus 1,000 for Karine Silva for the knockout, and then she dropped Homegirl in the first round with a big shot. It almost stopped her with punches. Lee's decision plus 420, Rodriguez sub plus 200, Batista via split decision plus 700. We thought that was a split decision win. I'm surprised it was unanimous, but
yeah.
Whaley inside the distance was not even a value bet. That fight should have been stopped for a lot of reasons. If it was anybody else, Lemos would have got her out of there. Leibrock knockout plus 650. What we're trying to make to you guys, these points, we literally did not lose a lot of money because we didn't have to put a lot of money on these bets or these parlays.
Yeah, this is all just bankroll management at the end of the day.
Correct. Yeah. And that's why we're not down units-wise. If you're breaking even as a bettor, you have a decent night.
Yeah.
If you're a little over, you had a good night. If you're way over, you had a great night.
Exactly.
So, it may look like we're getting a lot wrong, but the reason being is because we're giving you value. Because if one of those props hit, just one of them, we're up for the night.
Yeah.
We win like 2-3 units. Probably more on some of them, depending on the value. So what I will say is just caution. Like if you look at how we bet it, 1/5 of a unit, that's like a fifth of what. If your unit's $100 and it's 1/5 of a unit,
$20.
It's $20. So, or even if it's $10, a fifth of a unit is $2.
$2.
So it's we play value here and we try to find you guys valued spots because this was a tough card to bet on. Even the heavy bets we laid on Zhang Weili and Karine Silva, only one of them hit. And there's a reason for that. Like sometimes shit happens, Yeah. Weili should have packed that girl up.
And at the end of the game, missed the fight game. You know what I'm saying? Like
we weren't even mad because she dropped her in the fifth and almost took her soul.
You can have all the right reads you want, but sometimes it just don't work out for you.
Right. Which is why we try to find you value bets. Bets where you don't lose a lot, low loss, high reward.
Yes.
But they're likely to happen. And we had a couple of spots here that, that was going to happen. But that's why if you look at how down we are, how up we are, it's not a lot.
And it's not even just that either, because if you take the Karine Silva fight, for example, I thought the most likely path to victory, not the most likely, but more than likely, she was going to finish her and it was going to be a sub.
Correct.
But when you go online to start betting and you see that plus 1,000 next to KO, where you see that she's an equal opportunity finisher. She'll knock you out or sub you.
Correct. And Marina Moroz is a good grappler.
You have to take, you
got to play value.
Have to, but, you play the value. You know what I'm saying? Plus 1,000 on a knockout where, she's fighting against a girl who's a decent grappler.
Yeah.
It's worth it, And then, again, you only sprinkle a little bit. This goes back to, again, bankroll management,
Yep.
You don't put the house on that prop. It's plus 1,000. Just put a little bit. It's just a little, blah, blah, blah. And if it doesn't hit, you mitigate your loss.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But if it hits, you're up decent. You know what I'm saying? So
correct. But so that's why, I got a question or two over the weekend about that. So I figured I'd break that down, and let you guys know, hey, like this is just competent betting. This is playing value.
Yeah, you play the lines that the books give you. You know what I'm saying? If there's an off line, sprinkle a little bit on it.
Correct. So
unless you have, again, this all comes down to whether you have the read. I'm saying if you think no matter what that this person is gonna get a sub, you could put a little bit on it. Don't hurt yourself because again, you want to win, but you don't want to lose big. You know, so.
Especially if there's value there. Like that parlay we made was plus 10,000.
Yeah.
And you guys seen at multiple times, like Rodriguez via sub, he's way better of a grappler than that guy. If that guy just didn't tuck his neck, he would have got choked. Gary threw in a guillotine with 10 seconds left in the fight. If he'd have done that early, he would have got him out of there.
Yep.
And then Wei Li it was one-sided, you know, and she even had, if Lemos wasn't such a dog, she would have got tapped. She would have got subbed for just being so durable and taking the beating that she did. So, you know, it's, you know, that's how you play value. Likely outcomes with low wages with high return.
Exactly.
That's how you win. That's how competent betting wins.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't lose a lot of money this weekend. There's a lot of guys that we knew that were down 4 or 5 units. And it's because they were, you know, betting on things that, you know, could possibly happen, but probably couldn't happen. There was a good chance it wasn't going to happen, you know, and then not at value. Like they're betting 5 units on a minus 200. Like, you know, there's no value there.
Yeah, and that's not to say, like, listen, there's just going to be some days where you either hit and you're hot and you're hitting everything, or there's going to be some days that no matter how good of a read you have, you know, the fighters don't come through that day. Or you get some weird ass judging, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And, you know, you lose, you know, there's going to be days where you lose big. The way we bet, it's all about just trying to mitigate the losses, maximize the gains, play value, manage your bankroll, and at the end of the day,
take some shots
and just gamble. You know, be willing to bet. This is the thing. You don't never bet over your head. You want to bet what you're willing to lose at the end of the day.
Correct.
And if you start making bets, you know, what you should do is probably just write them down on paper. You know, see how much you're willing to risk on certain bets. And, you know, kind of have like a, you know, like a budget, I guess, you know? And if you feel like you're putting a lot on the card, maybe reduce some things or, you know, put it somewhere else. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, at the end of the day, you don't want to bet a card, put too much on something, and then you're miserable. You know what I'm saying? Bet responsibly. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But enough chopping that up. We can move on to UFC Singapore.
All right. We got UFC Singapore. This is going to be an early Saturday morning card because they are in
Singapore.
5 o'clock in the morning is the prelims, guys, and 8 o'clock in the morning is the main card.
That's if you're in the East Coast.
Yep.
This is going to be headlined by Max Holloway going against the Korean zombie, Sung Jung. 13 fight card. Not the best card from top to bottom. I think there's going to be some spots here where I can see some dogs coming through. You know, nothing compared to 292, where I thought that was a solid card from top to bottom. In the prelims, delivered that last card. This card, who knows? But, I mean, it's our job to hit and try to find you some spots. I don't see too many spots at the moment, but, hey, man.
Dangerous card, guys.
A little bit, yeah. I think this is a manage your expectations kind of card. You know, be ready to get upset kind of card. But you know, like I said, like we said before,
we're gonna find you value.
We're gonna find you value and just manage your bankroll. You know what I'm saying? First fight on the card here we have to kick off the prelims. Suwoo Choi. His nickname is Sting. Going one-on-one with Jarno Errens. I think that's how you say his name. Suwoo Choi, 10-6.
It's Sting.
It's Sting from the Raptors. 10-6. Fighting out of South Korea, hailing from South Korea, 30 years old, going against Jarno Errens. 13-4-1 from the Netherlands, fighting out of Holland, 28 years old. I like Suwoo Choi. He's very active, good hands, kind of like one of those old school South Korean fighters, almost like the same kind of like branch of the Korean zombie, you know, they kind of fight the same way, similar. He's going to put the volume up. He's got the striking, he's got decent grappling, you know, not too much defensively, but offensively, he's pretty solid. Jarno Errens, I think they brought this guy in to lose to, was it William Gomis?
Yep.
In Paris.
Put up a good fight.
I thought he put up a good fight. He looked pretty solid. What worries me a little bit about him is that he's a little bit low volume. He kind of plays off his back a little bit too much. But this guy hits hard.
Yeah.
Decent striking. This fight where this pure pick, I think Soo Choi is the side. Is he the favorite? I think he is the favorite.
He's actually getting smashed because he was minus 200 the other day. He's minus 166. So that means Errens, money's coming in on Errens.
I think this might be dog or pass because Errens, like I said, hits hard. Hits very hard. Soo Choi, not the best chin.
Not at all.
He's been knocked down a couple of fights, been knocked out a couple of fights. His last fight against Trezano, who I'm not high on at all. I think Trezano's a little
overrated.
Mid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Horrible fighter.
I think like Soo Choi is gonna be the minute winner for sure. You know, he's gonna have the more active hands. He's gonna be lighter on his feet. You know, in and out, blah blah blah. But I think if this gets into the clinch, Aaron's got these judo tosses that, man, if he was to toss me, I think I probably shit myself. I was watching one of his prelim fights where he tossed this dude so hard, I think it knocked the wind out of him.
Yeah.
And decent top game when he's on the ground.
Yo.
But when he's on top, like he brings the ground and pound. Pause. And again, striking, standing, he's like I said, a little low volume, but when he throws hard. And he's got, I think quick hands, like underrated quick hands and quick feet, because he'll throw some solid head kicks too. Moment winner versus minute winner. Soo Choi is the pick, but I think this might be dog or pass if you're gonna bet it. I do think maybe the unders hit here. I don't know if this fight goes all the way. It could, but I'm leaning that they don't. So I think the unders do hit, and I'm leaning dog up. I think if you're gonna bet it, and I might consider betting this, I think Errens is the side to bet. I think Soo Choi should win this fight.
Yeah,
like I think he's the rightful favorite, but I think the line is a little too big. So,
and he's not the one traveling halfway around the world either. So actually, no. Where is this guy from?
Well, he's from the Netherlands, so
he's not too far. He's not too far, but he's close. Woo Choi is a little closer, if I'm correct, to Singapore.
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, I'm with you. Everything you said, yeah, that was spot on. That was pretty spot on. We can move on to the next fight.
Next fight we have on the card, we got a absolute stinker. Actually, I mean, it could be exciting. Liang, the Dragon Girl, going one-on-one with JJ Aldrich.
Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
The Dragon Girl, 19-6. Hailing from China, fighting out of China, 27 years old, going against JJ Aldrich. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, 30 years old, 11-6 overall. I think the way to play this fight, well, even before I even talk about the betting, I think Aldrich is the side.
She is definitely the side.
She's probably 100%, not 100%, because there's no guarantees in MMA, but she is definitely the side. You should never lay minus, what is she? 600?
Almost 700.
On JJ Aldrich, you are wildin'.
This is number one bullshit.
Oh my God, chill. That being said, she probably does win this fight. Nan Liang, the Dragon Girl. If you're gonna pick her, I mean, her money line is crazy. Pick her by first round.
That's it.
Because
value, ladies and gentlemen.
And pick her by probably sub, more than likely. I don't know, maybe KO, because I think Aldrich is
little chinny. She's competent on the floor.
She's solid grappling.
Yeah.
Very solid grappling. Or just play round one. Just play it safe.
Yeah.
Because that line is gonna be bonkers.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's not gonna get out of the first round. If she gets out of the first round, she's done. She's cooked. Yep. She's dead meat. JJ Aldrich, I think better than I'm willing than I initially gave her credit for.
Yep.
Because I was watching tape for Blanchfield, watching her fight. She was winning. She was beating Blanchfield.
Yep.
She's got decent striking. She's actually got a really good jab, quick hands, not too much power in her hands. Solid takedown defense, decent on the ground. she was able to stop Blanchfield from taking her down at all. We're gonna revisit this later. So better, and then like I said, I think I've all jokes aside, I think she's better than I used to give her credit for. I think if she doesn't really get too many finishes, but if she's gonna get a finish on anybody,
It's this fight.
it's this fight.
Late.
That being said, I'm not guaranteeing that either, because again, she don't got the power. Maybe this fight ends in sub is probably not a bad look.
100%.
Liang Na, strong. I think she's the harder hitter.
Yeah.
Sloppier striker though. Sloppier striker. But she's got some pop. She wants this fight on the ground. Does not know how to get this fight to the ground. She kind of reminds me of like the way Mackenzie Dern used to fight when she first came in, where she just like blitzes you with punches just to get to your body and then try to drop you. But she don't really got the takedowns either.
No.
It's weird. She wants this fight on the ground because, once it gets to the ground, she's decent, like with the submissions. Like she wins a lot of her fights are first round submission. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this. You're gonna Aldrich is the side. She's the pick. Don't know how I'm gonna bet this fight. Maybe the unders. Maybe. If you're gonna play the Dragon Girl, you play her first round. But I don't think she's gonna win this fight.
Yeah, Dragon Girl, at plus 450 as her money line. So you're telling me if her money line is plus 450, we can't give you props yet because they haven't dropped. But I'm assuming her first round stoppage is probably gonna be like plus 1,000.
It's gonna be close to probably plus 1,000. It might be like plus 600, plus 800.
Because they know. Yeah, they know. And you want the real, like, I'll probably put a small bet on that because I do think this girl is very dangerous. And I do not think very highly of JJ Aldrich, even though I think she's a little better than people give her credit for. This is very low level. Like I said, you play value here. You play JJ late, or listen, you want the real? Let Dragon Girl put the beats on her the first round, then bet JJ after the second round. Lie better.
Yeah, I can see a live bet entry. 100%.
She's gonna drop because she might lose the first round. She might even win it. Who knows? Because she does have good wrestling, and Dragon Girl's moving up a weight class. But she was big for 15.
That's a good point because she does have cardio issues and chin issues, but
might be weight cut issues.
It could be related to weight cut. So this is gonna be pretty interesting to see her move up in weight and how she handles this.
That's what I'm saying. There's value on playing her first round.
Yeah,
there is
just a tiny, the tiniest of sprinkles.
Plus 800, and for you guys who are not educated about this, and that's okay. Plus 800 means for every dollar you put down, you get 8 back. So if you put $5 down, you're gonna win 40. Did I get that right? Yeah. So
sure. I don't know. I can't do math right now in my brain. Let's keep it simple. For every $1 you put, you get 8 back.
Yeah. So if you put $5 down, you get 40.
I'm gonna trust you.
Yeah. Trust me.
I don't got my
math is good. My math is really good, bro. But what I will say is, you play value for this fight, and that's it. And then you maybe a live bet spot on JJ if she takes a beating in the first round, and you see Liang like just gassing for life and for air. But listen, if you thought JJ Aldrich is gonna get my money at minus 520,
stupid. I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
I ain't fucking with it, man.
Yeah, don't put it in a. That number's even too big to put in a parlay.
It's crazy. Do not touch this. I
wouldn't say don't necessarily touch it. I think if you can get like inside the distance on JJ Aldrich, take a shot. Yeah, I think take a shot there.
This is a parlay piece. Don't touch it. I'm sorry. This fight is too scary to parlay.
Yeah,
she's too overvalued, and she's not a finisher. So it's like, but she can finish this girl. So
if she's gonna finish anybody,
it's gonna be her.
It's gonna be her.
So, but not JJ's the side. Dragon Girl might get a sprinkle, straight up. Yeah, and JJ might get a live bet. Who knows?
All right, next fight we have here, we got Yusaku Kinoshita going one-on-one with Billy Goff. I think it's Kinoshita or Kinoshita. I think it's Kinoshita. Kinoshita, 6-2, fighting out of Japan, hailing from Japan, 23 years old, going against Billy Goff, who's 8-2, fighting out of Connecticut, the US of A, 25 years old, 8-2 overall. This fight is interesting. I think this might be dog or pass. I don't know.
Horrible fighter.
No.
Horrible fighter.
I wouldn't say horrible. This Kinoshita is the guy who they're kind of, the unofficial nickname for him is Japanese Connor. I don't think he's Japanese Connor. I don't even think he's Connor. He is Japanese. He's got very good striking. I think he gets hit a little too much for my liking though.
I agree.
But he's got, he's got the karate stance. He keeps his hands low, kind of like Connor does. I see some of the comparisons. That's just the draw and the counter. This Billy Goff guy, doing tape on him, he gets knocked down every fight he's in. But he's one of those, you have to kill him to get him out of there.
Yeah. You got to disconnect this shit.
You have to straight up unplug my man, Billy Goff.
Hey, yo.
And I think they have him. Wait, how's that? Hey, yo.
Unplug my man. Hey, yo.
I didn't say plug him.
Yeah, that's hey, yo.
Okay.
Got him.
I think, is he the favorite or is he the dog? Who's the favorite? Who's the dog?
Kinoshita, take a guess.
I'm going to say Kinoshita might be the favorite.
He is.
Okay.
Slight, though, minus 135. Plus 114 for Billy Goff.
I think I like Billy Goff here, man, because even though he gets knocked down every fight,
he's a zombie.
He's he's one of these guys who's got power in his hands. A little, again, low volume, but when he hits you. And he can grapple. And I don't know, I just seen this man, I don't know, I think it's hard, I think it's going to be very hard for Kinoshita to get this guy out of here. I'm not saying Kinoshita can't get this guy out of here because Kinoshita has body bagged a couple guys. But I think this is going to be a dog or pass. I'm going to say Billy Goff might get a bet for me here as a dog. I could see Kinoshita winning, but I think this is dog or pass.
Agreed 100%. And I don't really have much to add on to that. That was pretty good. You covered all ways with that. I agree. I think Goff is live. I don't like him flying across the world because he is flying all the way from Connecticut.
Yeah.
So that scares me a little bit. Plus, a lot of these Asian fighters on this card, especially when it's a close fight, if it goes to the scorecards, how the judge is going to score it, as well too, are, a lot of the Asian populated, fighters here on this card, are they going to get up ready to go because they are in Singapore? So this fight scares the shit out of me from a betting standpoint. But I agree with you. I don't think there's bad value on Kinoshita at minus 135, but I think Goff is live as hell.
Yeah, and
he's live as hell.
Especially if he implements the grappling, because Kinoshita's debut fight, or I guess, I don't know if his debut fight or whatever, but his last fight against Fugit was able to touch Fugit up, but Fugit was also able to touch him up.
Correct.
Also, Fugit was able to just constant pressure with the grappling, and you can tell Kinoshita could initial grappling defense was solid, but the more he kept grappling him, the more he just kept getting drowned in it, and then elbows finished him. And I seen Billy Goff finish people with some elbows too. Ground and pound is wicked. I'm gonna go dog or pass. If it stays standing, it's more of like a 50-50 fight where I'm gonna lean Kinoshita because again his volume and he hits hard. Billy Goff does hit hard, but he doesn't have necessarily the volume. But Billy Goff does have grappling. And again, he's one of these this is another minute winner versus moment winner. And I think like I said, I think Goff is live.
Yes.
All right, next fight we have here in the prelims. Kenan Seung,
Horrible fighter.
the assassin, going against Rolando Bedoya, the machine. Seung, 19-7, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 33 years old. Going against Bedoya, 14-2, fighting out of Peru, hailing from Peru, 26 years old. I think the odds are a little too wide on this.
I agree.
I do like the Bedoya side. I do. I can't speak right now. I think Bedoya is the side. I think Bedoya does win because he's another one of these zombie fighters. He can take a punch.
Yeah.
He was fighting Chaos Williams, and Chaos hit him with some clean shit, and he just kept walking forward, hitting Chaos with some clean stuff too. And I think that fight ended up being like a split decision, competitive fight.
Questionable.
Slightly questionable. I still think Chaos probably did enough, but it was close. And I think that was Bedoya's debut. Bedoya is gonna outland Kenan Sung here. Like, his volume is crazy. Kenan Sung, I think, is the harder hitter, but his chin, little sus. I mean, he got clapped by Ian Gary. Ian Gary does hit hard, or you know, all. I don't want to take anything away from Ian Gary, but I think this is another side. This is another fight where I think Kenan Sung. Not that I don't think he's like an impossible dog. I don't know. In my head, I'm just like,
he has to catch him with a good shot. And that's what you're betting on, right? I don't see Kenan being able to deal with Bedoya's pressure. And I don't want to put too much stock into the Chaos fight on my side, because I think that was more of a fight where Chaos got exposed as well as Bedoya showed up that he's better than he is. The problem with Bedoya, he blocks punches with his face. His striking defense is fucking horrid.
Yeah.
But I do like him here too, even though he does take a ton of damage. Kenan hits dumb hard, but he doesn't throw a lot of volume, and he doesn't make the best fight decisions either, because when he had Gary hurt, he could have probably stopped him. Decided to clinch him up against the cage as opposed to throwing shots.
Yeah.
And I also don't like him coming back on a quick turnaround after the Gary fight, because that was not too long ago, and I think he broke his eye socket in that fight.
He got beat up. Like, you know, Gary was like able to jab that man's face to death.
Yeah, once Gary read the left hook, he just kept 1-2, step back, hook comes by the face, swing, hit him again, hit him with the hook, hit him with a knee, and he just dismantled him late into the fight. I don't like him coming back this early after a beating like that. So Bedoya is definitely the side. I think Bedoya is parlayable. I will go that far, but let me look into this a little more before I give you guys definitive news, because I do think Kenan can knock him out, but he has to catch him with a flush shot. He is good at finding the chin. He kind of found it against Gary, you know, and we'll see. Bedoya is a side though.
All right, next fight we have on the card here, and I think this should be on the main card, but currently it's on the prelims. We got Chidi, bang bang, and Njokuani going one-on-one with Michał Oleksiejczuk. Bang bang, 22-9, fighting out of the good old US of A, 34 years old, going one-on-one with Łukasz Oleksiejczuk. 18-6, fighting out of Poland, hailing from Poland, 28 years old. This fight should be a pick'em. I think the lines are very close. I think this fight is dog or pass.
-108 to -112.
I don't have a confident pick either way.
No.
My gut feeling,
Chidi.
I think that's the side I'm gonna end up betting, especially if he stays plus money. I mean, Oleksiejczuk gonna bring it though. Oleksiejczuk is gonna. This is another thing where Oleksiejczuk, like,
minute winner,
solid chin, minute winner, works the body really good, throws in volume, walks forward, a lot of pressure. Chidi, more patient, hits like a truck.
Might be the biggest puncher Oleksiejczuk has fought.
I think he's got the slight grappling edge and the slight submission edge if it gets to that point. And I think the way I see this fight playing out is Oleksiejczuk, you know, bringing the pressure. Chidi waiting for the counter, clapping him up, and taking him out. I think Chidi is... I mean, like I said, I think this is dog or pass either way. Even if you get Oleksiejczuk against some plus money, I don't think that's a bad bet either. I think this is dog or pass. I'm going to slightly lean Chidi for the pick and the lean. Probably going to be committing to Chidi later. But, you know, again, this is a tough, very close fight. Exciting fight. Two strikers. Oleksiejczuk doesn't really have to worry about grappling. I think he does have to worry about getting his neck snatched up.
I agree.
By Chidi, because Chidi's, you know, again, underrated submission game. But, yeah, dog or pass. Chidi's aside. What about you?
I don't like that the only thing I don't like about this fight is that it's so low on the card.
I think it's gonna be a very good fight.
I think they need to do a lot of rearranging with a lot of the fights on this card. But besides the point, this is a great fight for all the points that you listed. They both have fought high level competition. They have both come short and upset high level competition. If you pick either side, I don't blame you. That's how well matched these guys are.
100%.
It's one of the first times I'm ever going to say that to you.
It's a 50-50 fight.
It's a 50-50. But I'm going to take the guy who can thump in here in Chidi. And I think Chidi will catch him coming in because Oleksiejczuk gets caught in every fight. And I don't think you can make that kind of mistake with Chidi. I just don't. I think Chidi might be the biggest puncher he's fought. And that's including 205ers. Maybe Dustin Jacoby hits harder than him, but that's because he's naturally a bigger man. But I think Dustin doesn't have that one hitter, and Chidi does. Chidi can put you out one shot. So I like Chidi. Don't know how I'm going to bet it, but I like Chidi.
All right, next fight we have right here in the prelims, we have Toshiomi Kazama going one-on-one with Garrett Armfield. The silent finisher, Kazama, 10-3. Fighting out of Japan, hailing from Japan, 27 years old. Going one-on-one with Garrett Armfield, 8-3. Fighting out of Florida, 26 years old. This is a grappler match. So, you have to look at the stand-up here in detail. I do think Garrett Armfield is the better striker. Don't know if he's necessarily a harder hitter, but he throws in combo.
Yep.
Kazama, he throws. He's gonna be the guy who's gonna be more low volume. Even when he's clinching, he's low volume. He wants this fight on the ground 100%. Garrett Armfield, both these guys, they're both position over submission. Kazama is probably going to be the guy looking for submissions more. But I think Armfield is more than competent. This is another example of I'm going to favor the American wrestling over any other wrestling outside of the United States because, if there's one thing America specializes in is the wrestling. They have really good wrestling programs and,
Yep.
They crush the Olympics all the time and, all that craziness. NCAA is crazy.
Unless they're going against a Daggy.
That's true. Yeah.
Dagestani wrestler.
But this guy's fine. This guy's Japanese, so we gotta worry about no Russian wrestling here. I think Garrett Armfield is the side. Is he the favorite or is he
minus 162 actually?
That's not bad.
That's bettable.
He might be getting the bet here. The only thing I have to worry about is if Kazama ends up taking his back.
To that round.
Garrett Armfield has been rear naked choked once before, but I think he's competent enough to kind of survive this. He made his debut against Onama, a weight class up, on 4 days' notice.
Yeah, Onama's a hammer too. Hits hard.
He looked competent against Onama on 4 days' notice. That's the second time he fought Onama. He fought Onama as an amateur too and lost that. But Onama's a beast.
Yeah.
I think Armfield's legit. Small for the weight class, but I think he's gonna have the striking edge here, and I think he's gonna be able to hold his own in the grappling. I'm gonna lean Armfield here for the win. I think he's the rightful favorite. I think he's the pick, and he's possibly the bet. Don't know about the over/under here, but I could see this probably going to decision more than not because of the grappling. But that's the way I'm leaning.
I agree. We can move on. Straight up. Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
All right, next fight we have here, and it looks like it's headlining the prelims. We got Waldo Cortes-Acosta going against Brzeski.
Horrible fight.
We got some heavyweights headlining the prelim, baby. Salsa boy, Dominicano, 9-1, fighting out of Arizona, 31 years old, going against the Bull Brzeski, Polish, fighting out of Poland, 8-3, 8-3-1, 31 years old.
Not on steroids.
Not on the juice. We'll see. This is another one. I want to wait till weigh-ins a little bit. But the side for me, I think is going to be Cortes-Acosta. He's not the most prolific heavyweight, but he's got a hell of a jab and he's a dog.
And good gas tank.
Good gas tank. Hard to get out. Excellent jab. And I think that's all he's going to really need for Brzeski here. Brzeski, active with his hands. He might be the harder hitter of the two, but like I said, I think Acosta is tough. Brzeski gasses very easily. He does throw leg kicks though, and Cortez does not check any of them. He does not know how to check them. He don't know how to defend them. But I only seen, I think, one fight. I think De Lima was the only guy to really take advantage of beating Acosta with leg kicks. I think this goes to decision. I mean, maybe Acosta could get a finish here because of the way Brzeski gasses. But I'm gonna lean Acosta here for the win. Don't know how I'm gonna bet it. I think he's the favorite. Unless Brzeski can leg kick him and somehow get this fight to the ground, I think that's his only shot here. Or if he KOs him within the first 1 minute of the fight, because after that, my man is huffing gas, sucking air. But I do want to see how because he hasn't fought in a while. I want to see how he looks. If he looks anything like he looked like in his last fight, I think Acosta is 100% the side. I think he wins. I think this goes to decision more than likely. But wouldn't be surprised if Acosta gets his first win here. I think this is a bounce back win fight for Acosta.
I agree with everything you said. The only thing that worries me a little bit is with Brzeski is the wrestling. And I will say the wrestling because he kind of did have some moments against Carl Williams when he fought Carl Williams. I don't know if you watched the footage on that fight.
I seen some of it.
Yeah, he did have his moments where he kind of got on top of Carl.
That's what I'm saying.
So if he can do that to Waldo, it might be a long fucking night for Waldo. Where's Waldo? Under Lucas Brzeski. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Waldo?
You know what I'm saying? So what I will say is, Waldo's the lean. He has a granite chin, good cardio, great jab, good hand speed. I like him a lot in this fight. But what I will say is if Lucas comes in with a wrestling heavy game plan, this fight could look a lot different, but I don't trust his gas tank, which is why I'm off of him.
Or his IQ, to be honest.
Or his IQ.
I don't know if he's going to be able to, he's probably doesn't want to strike with this guy.
And also not on the gear anymore. Because you should look at the before and after of Lucas Brzeski, pre-USADA. Or actually, not even pre-USADA, just pre him getting busted for testosterone.
Just pre him UFC.
He looked crazy.
Yeah, he looks shredded.
Shredded. Now he looks like dad bod.
Yeah,
so
off the couch.
Like he gets off, he just hit a Heineken and said, I'll take that fight.
Moves the Cheeto bag off his stomach. Moves the cans of Coors Light he was drinking. I'm ready for the fight. In a Polish voice. I don't know how to do a Polish accent, but.
Yeah, he says his name is Brzeski. He'd be asking for brewskis. You feel me?
Lucas Brewski.
Lucas Brewski, bro. But yes, Acosta the lean. Acosta's probably going to be the bet too. I do trust him in this fight. This is a low level heavyweight that I'm used to betting, but I feel more comfortable betting this fight than the next heavyweight fight. And we can move on from there. Good leeway. Good segue, rather.
All right, speaking of the next heavyweight fight, to kick off the main card, we got Junior Tafa. Brother or cousin, I think brother of Justin Tafa.
Horrible fighter.
Go on one-on-one with Parker Porter.
Horrible fighter.
The juggernaut, Tafa.
Peter Porker.
Stop that. Don't disrespect this man.
I might make a bet on him. Who knows? But go ahead.
All right, well, we might be on opposite sides here because we got Junior Tafa, the juggernaut, 4-1. Fighting out of Australia, hailing from Australia, 26 years old, going one-on-one with Parker Porter, 14-8. Fighting out of Connecticut, 38 years old. I think Tafa's the side here. He's probably the favorite, right? I think if Parker, Jesus,
got him.
I do this all the time.
Minus 142 for Tafa. He's the favorite.
Minus 142?
Yeah.
Ooh, his number's coming down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter Porker.
I think if Porter takes this man down, I think Porter's going to look minus probably 1,000 because when Muhammad Usman was able to take Tafa down, Tafa could not get back up.
And Muhammad Usman is not good.
And Muhammad Usman is not the best grappler. Strong brute of a grappler, but not the best grappler. I think Porter is more technical in terms of the grappling. But I don't think he's got the physicality from a man Tafa.
Tafa's big.
Tafa can throw. Tafa, offensively, his hands, crazy. I think better than Justin, low-key. But
you reach, I teach.
You reach, I teach, part 2. I think that's what's going to happen.
Part 2.
Part 2. I think.
To Peter Porker. Poor Peter Porker.
Stop that. Porter, this is like, you hit me once, Mr. Tafa, shame on me. Fighting the other brother, you're going to get clapped again, shame on you. You should have known better. Like I said, I think Tafa's initial takedown defense is pretty solid. Even Usman had a hard time, trying to hold him down. I mean, not hold him down, but take him down initially. He was grinding on him a lot until he was able to kind of get him down. But Tafa's a big dude. I think Porter, Porter, to his credit, he's been leaning out. But that kind of worries me a little bit because I think that might work to his disadvantage because I feel like if he was a little bigger, he might have more of that physicality. I mean, unless he's putting on muscle. Who knows? This is probably another one I'm probably going to wait till weigh-ins. But if he is putting on, if he's putting on that muscle, and if he's able to single leg Tafa down, because that's Porter's go-to, his single leg, he might be the side. Because I don't know if Tafa's getting back up. The problem is Porter's entries not the best. And if he puts him against the cage, I can see Tafa kind of just easily just reversing because he is the bigger dude, and I think he's going to be the stronger, more physical dude. And like I said, Tafa's got good hands. I can see Tafa going. I can see Parker going to sleep, taking a nap. Tafa's the side.
Yeah, I'm with you on Tafa. I think Parker is live. Don't know if I'm going to bet him for all the reasons you mentioned. What I will say is what is interesting for this fight is I don't like Parker coming from Connecticut for this fight. When you have to travel that far, it's always it's going to take on your body, man. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to have an effect on your body. But what I will say is I am interested in a live bet spot here too. If Junior doesn't look great or gets tired stuffing his takedowns in the first round and Parker, somehow survives the onslaught that he might be getting his way and he's still a plus money dog, I'll take a shot at him in the second, third round.
I'm not too mad at that. I think I like that.
Why not? But if you want the real, I agree with you. I think Tafa might catch him. Tafa's the lean. Parker might be the bet. Tafa might be the bet. I may not even touch this fight just because it's low-level heavyweight. It's very low-level heavyweight, man. It's dangerous.
All right. Next fight on the main card. This fight should arguably be the co-main event, at least.
At least.
This is probably going to be fight of the night. Probably the most important fight on the card. Erin Blanchfield, Talia Santos. Or Talia or Talia? Talia. I'm going to say Talia. No disrespect. Cold-blooded Blanchfield, 11-1. Fighting out of New York, 24 years old. Going against the 19-2 Talia Santos, hailing from Brazil, fighting out of Brazil, 30 years old. This fight should be a pick'em.
Yeah.
This fight should be a pick'em. I think on the Blanchfield side, she's going to have the volume. She's a tough girl. Gritty. She's going to have the pressure.
And volume.
And the volume. I like Santos, though. I don't know. This one's back and forth. I think Santos is going to be the more physical girl. She's definitely the bigger girl. Height. Reach. Just overall, she's going to be the bigger girl.
It's similar to the Chidi fight. It's the same thing. Like the Chidi, what's his name? Oleksiejczuk fight.
Yeah.
This is a very well matched contest, and I think Talia's live as hell. So if you want to take Talia, I definitely understand why. I'm going to lean Blanchfield for a couple of reasons. Talia's been inactive. Talia is 36 years old. Talia has a hard time making the weight for this weight class. So I want to see how she looks in the scales as well. But regardless of that, I think this is going to be the most physical girl that Talia is going to fight, has fought. And even more so than Valentina. And here's why. I think Blanchfield puts a lot more volume out than Valentina. I think she's going to give her a lot to think about. Talia is the better striker. She's the more powerful striker too. But Blanchfield is good at making adjustments. She showed it in the Andrade fight when she got touched a little bit. She also showed it in the JJ Aldrich fight when she got, and that was one of her first fights where she got taken down and she was able to just work off her back, get her submission win against that girl. Blanchfield, I think, is better than Talia on the floor. I think she'll go for a submission. She's better to finish the fight. Talia is very competent on the floor. I'm not going to take anything away from her. I just think Blanchfield's a little better. And where the fight's going to really be decided, in my opinion, is against the cage. Who's going to win those cage exchanges? Is Blanchfield going to be able to hold her up and work her and then get her to the floor? Or is Talia going to be able to clinch her, drop knees, and big sister her? You know what I'm saying? I like Blanchfield in this fight, but man, if you pick Talia, I'm not mad at you. I really, this fight is, it should be the co-main. And it should be the co-main because whoever wins this fight is going to get Valentina or Grasso next. No question. It's more of a gut feeling why I'm picking Blanchfield. And I just like her upside. I think she's only 24 years old. Lord knows how much, especially after the Jessica Andrade fight, I could guarantee you this girl went to camp and she worked on her striking. I think she's going to look better this fight than she did her last fight. You know? And Talia, you kind of already know what she is. My only issue with Talia, she does work off her back a little bit. She didn't show it that much in the Valentina fight, which I applaud her for. She showed up. But I also have concerns about her motivation for this fight. Because when you hit that mountaintop like Dominic Reyes did, and then you fall short, what's your motivation to get back up and try to get that fight again? Dominic Reyes lost via split decision too. And Talia Santos did too. And I seen a girl in there when she caught one headbutt, she kind of gave away the fight off of that one headbutt. Erin Blanchfield, I can bet my money comfortably knowing she's going to fight for my money. She's not going to show up in there and the jitters are going to get to her. She's not going to show up in there and she could break a finger, a nail, a foot, and she's going to still compete and try to win that fight. Cold blood is appropriate for this girl. I think she is a fucking savage. I like Blanchfield, but if you're on the Talia side, I'm not mad at it. Talia probably should win this fight. Not sure. There's too many question marks for her, in my opinion. There's more question marks on her side than Blanchfield's.
That is where we're gonna disagree. So I think I'm gonna take the Santos side, and not that I can disagree with anything you said, but there's some things that give me pause on the Blanchfield side. One, she struggled against JJ Aldrich. She also lost to Tracy Cortez. She has a tendency to, she struggles against people who have decent grappling. I think Santos has got decent grappling. Santos, lower volume, I think is going to hit just as hard or even harder than Andrade. I think she's the slicker striker. Not that Blanchfield is, she has been improving, all credit to her striking. Santos arguably beat Shevchenko. You know, if somebody made that argument to me.
I thought she did.
You know what I'm saying? I thought she took those first 3 rounds, not handily, but I scored it that way for her. Santos has problems with people who can out-physical her. I'm not too sure if Blanchfield can out-physical her. I think you're right. In those clinch situations, that's going to be key. I do think Santos is going to be the more physical girl here. I think she's going to be able to big sister her a little bit. And she's plus money.
Yeah.
I got to take the shot. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at that. I'm going on a hunch here with Blanchfield. I think she's the goods. Maybe it may not be now, but it probably will be 4 or 5 years from now.
I don't disagree with you. I do think she's a future champion.
She's the goods.
Yeah.
She's the goods. And I think, I know a lot of people are saying too much too soon, but I trust this girl's cerebral, her mind for this sport.
That's the way I kind of feel. I feel like I understand your perspective. I do think this might be a little too much too soon.
Yep.
But I can't disagree with any of the points you were making. I just think Santos, man, she's bad, man. And I think this might be this for me. I think this is gonna be like a you must have forgot kind of spot Ooh, excuse me. I think this is gonna be like a you must have forgot because she's taking some time off. I'm not too worried about that because she's still young. She's only 30.
Santos?
Yeah, Santos is only 30. She's I don't.
Oh wow! So I got her thing wrong. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I said she was 34.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, listen, it sucks losing to Valentina, but I think she did put a valiant effort up.
I thought she won the fight.
And I don't know, man. It's gonna be. For me, I just got more questions on the Blanchfield side because again, this is another competent grappler she's gonna be going against, and she's gonna also hold her own. Santos is the type to move forward and not really move backwards and throw like Andrade did. And yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how Blanchfield handles the physicality of Santos. I'm leaning Santos more on the physicality and the fact that I think, I don't know, I just got a gut feeling she might win. But, again, I could be wrong because I think Blanchfield is damn good. So.
Agreed.
All right, next fight we have on the main card here. We got Renan Nakamura going one-on-one with Fernie Garcia. Nakamura, the hybrid, 7-0, fighting out of Japan, hailing from Japan, 28 years old, going against Fernie Garcia. Fighting out of Dallas, hailing from Mexico, 31 years old, 10-3 overall. If this fight stays standing, Garcia's got a chance. I still need Nakamura slightly, but Garcia's got really good hands, hits hard. Where Nakamura where his advantages though is in the grappling. This is another spot where Fernie Garcia cannot defend a takedown. He struggled against Brady Hiestand, who I do not like. Got clipped by Hiestand. That's crazy. Struggled against
Horrible fight.
what's Journey Newsom, who also clipped him. Doesn't have the best chin. Nakamura, he does get hit, but if he takes Fernie down, he's gonna look like minus $1 million.
Yeah.
So I think Nakamura is the side, especially if it gets down to the grappling. If it stays standing, it's definitely the fight Garcia wants. I just don't know if it's the fight that Garcia can handle because Nakamura's got fast hands, not the best striker, but hits hard, and Garcia is there to be hit. So it's pretty easy for me. Nakamura to side. Don't know how I'm going to bet it because he's like minus what?
800.
Woo! Maybe inside the distance. The under's probably hit in this fight, but I think this is Nakamura all day. I just don't know how I'm going to bet this fight.
Listen, Nakamura is going to be...
They would have been packing them up.
100%. I don't even know how this fight got sanctioned. I'm going to be quite frank with you. Complete mismatch. Nakamura by demolition. Like, no question. He's going to stop him. It's just when. Probably early. But I don't like Garcia at all in this fight. I don't even know why this fight's made. I don't know why it's happening. But we're going to find you ways to make money on this fight. Because you have to have a bet on this fight, in my opinion. Because it's guaranteed money.
I wouldn't say guaranteed money.
It's guaranteed.
This is MMA at the end of the day, bro.
It is, but it's Nakamura.
I mean,
this ain't Shinsuke.
Garcia.
This ain't Shinsuke Nakamura. This is fucking Ryu Nakamura.
Garcia could clip him.
Could. Not going to.
He's got heavy hands.
Not going to.
I hear you.
Nakamura's gonna fuck this dude.
All right, now we got the featured bout. Giga Chikadze, the returning Giga, going one-on-one with Alex Caceres. Ninja, Giga Chikadze, 14-3. Fighting out of Georgia, hailing from Georgia, 35 years old, going against Bruce Leroy. Alex Caceres.
This is Bruce Lee shit.
I was waiting for you to hit it.
Hey.
Pause. 21-13. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, 35 years old. This fight is going to be a good fight. I'm leaning Giga here. Him being out for almost a year and a half worries me just a little bit, especially being 35 years old. Caceres not the hardest hitter, but he's got solid striking. The only thing that worries me in this fight is whether Caceres could take his back. I don't think so though. I'm gonna lean Giga here. Maybe this fight goes the distance.
I agree with that.
Caceres is very durable. Chikadze hard to get out. I think the overs is probably the way to look at this fight.
Minus 215 for over 2.5.
Oh, they're all over it.
You gotta parlay it.
Yeah, that's tough. I do like Bruce Leroy here. Like, you know, as a fighter, I like his style. He's not an easy out
For anybody.
This is a step down for Chikadze though. And I guess, you know, relatively speaking, in terms of the, you know, the rest of his fights, or at least his most recent fights. I mean, he got beat up pretty bad by
Calvin Kattar.
By Kattar. But it was pretty competitive in those first couple rounds. Chikadze does gas a little bit, but this is going to be a 3-round fight.
Against a guy who's not going to wrestle him.
Against a guy who I don't think is going to push the pace on him that much either, to be honest, because Caceres likes to fight with that, you know, with some distance, you know, throw his kicks and stuff like that.
This is Bruce Lee shit.
I could see Caceres being a little live if it gets to the grappling, if he decides to implement some grappling, but I'm gonna lean Chikadze here. Not with the most confidence, but I do think he does get the win here. Don't know how I'm gonna bet it. Maybe the overs. I don't think, or maybe Chikadze by decision is probably the way to go.
I agree.
If you want to bet that, but yeah, who knows? Yeah, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Not with the most confidence. That's all, you know.
Yeah, I just don't like the inactivity from him, but I still think he's going to get it done. I think he understands distance management very well. A little better than Caceres. Caceres does make some bad decisions, but Caceres has been improving, and I agree. If he can get us to the floor, this fight gets very interesting. But Giga has shown decent takedown defense, and Caceres is not necessarily a world-class wrestler, you know, so him getting there is going to be the interesting part. But if he gets there, it's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Giga by decision. I agree.
All right, now moving on to the co-main event, and we got a run back. An unexpected run back, but a run back nonetheless.
The run back nobody asked for.
Pretty much. I mean, we got Anthony Smith here, Lionheart, going one-on-one with Superman, Ryan Spann. Anthony Smith, 36-18, the grizzled veteran. I said veteran. I don't know. Got tongue-tied there a little bit.
Yeah.
Omaha, Nebraska boy, 35 years old. Going one-on-one with Superman Spann. Fighting out of Texas, 32 years old, 21-8 overall. The first time they fought, Alex, you hear me? Anthony Smith kind of made it look a little easy. Beat him by sub, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
That was before Anthony Smith started looking a little washed.
He looks washed.
He does look a little washed. I think he's the slight dog here.
Plus 110. Ryan Spann's minus 130.
I like Ryan Spann in this spot.
I agree.
I think he is maturing as a fighter. I still question his IQ just a little bit, but I do like his coach, Sayud.
Yeah, Sayud.
I like him. I think Spann has been improving. No two fights look alike. I think Spann is going to want to get this run back here. I am worried about Smith. Smith has been getting knocked out. He hasn't been looking too hot.
Even against Johnny Walker, he just looked like he was a step behind.
Struggled, yeah. He didn't look too hot.
He looked old. He didn't look like a guy that was taking damage in the fight. He just looked old, man.
To Johnny's credit, though, I think part of that had to do with all the leg kicks. Anthony Smith don't know how to check leg kicks. He just takes them.
Got stopped by Ankalaev over leg kicks.
Spann isn't the leg kick type, but I mean that the blueprint is there to beat Anthony Smith. Stay at range. I think Spann is the harder hitter of the two. He's younger. I like Spann. I like Spann here to win. And in the even though he's the favorite, I think it's gonna be. Even though he's the favorite, I think it's gonna be an upset. I think Spann gets his back. Spann gets him early.
Yeah.
Spann by knockout probably.
Yep, and I like the under too. The under 1.5 is minus 195.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna hit. I think one of these boys is gonna get put out early. Either Ryan Spann's gonna knock him out, or he's gonna gas and get subbed. It's one of the other.
don't trust Anthony Smith these days, unfortunately. And I like him as a fighter, so I don't want to talk too badly about him.
And I think he's the better overall MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like they're trying to give him a win here, low key. Like, this is probably one of the better matchups to give him in the division, you know. But I do feel like Ryan knows where he messed up last time, and he's better now than he was when they first fought. He's way better. I feel like Anthony's still the same fighter. So
And declining.
He is
declining.
physically.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, Ryan spanned the lean. Don't know if I'm going to bet it, but possibly will.
Now, the main event. Max Holloway. The Korean zombie. Sung Jung. Got Max blessed Holloway here. 24-17. Well, 24-7. That's wild disrespect. Fighting out of Hawaii, 31 years old. Going against the Korean zombie, 17-7. Fighting out of South Korea, hailing from South Korea, 36 years old. I think Max wins here.
However he wants.
All respect to Zombie. I think this is going to be Zombie's retirement fight.
He asked for this fight.
He wanted this fight,
and he's been hinting retirement. Can't bet on a man who's retiring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you already have that kind of mindset, it's rough. It's rough for me personally to back you. The Korean Zombies probably had some of the best fights in the UFC.
Yep.
Crazy fight of the nights.
First twister. Probably should have got the run back with Aldo after he dislocated his shoulder, because I thought that fight would have been way better if they had ran it back.
Was winning the
Yair Rodriguez fight, and then got caught with the elbow.
It got caught with the crazy elbow.
Yeah.
The legend.
Bad luck for this guy, man.
Two legends.
Great boxer.
I think Holloway beats him. I think this is just a gut feeling.
Decision?
I think this fight goes the distance. I think Zombie's probably best course of action here is because he's not going to out-volume Max. He's not.
He's also not going to knock out Max.
He's not going to knock out Max. But I think his best course of action here is to play counter.
Yeah.
Be the counter striker here. Look for your openings. Maybe implement some grappling. Not that Holloway is anything to sneeze at grappling wise, but I don't think Zombie's anything to sneeze at the grappling either. I think they're both pretty underrated in terms of their grappling.
I agree.
But I think if he mixes that in, some clinch work, some grappling, stays on the outside, counter strikes, tries to stay slick, not to take too much damage. And Holloway, he can finish him. I don't think he will finish him. But I'm leaning. It's just a gut feeling. I think this goes the distance, but I do think Holloway is gonna just, Holloway by however he wants. Essentially, it's he's gonna outstrike him. He's gonna style on him just a little bit. But yeah,
I agree, and I agree. I'm starting to lean more towards the decision here, and I lean towards it because of how he looked his last fight. He played on the outside, didn't take a lot of chances. Didn't try to take damage. I think he's being real cognizant of of brain trauma at this point in his career, because he has absorbed the most significant strikes in UFC history without being dropped, which is insanity. He's got one of the best shins ever. I think Max is going to play on the outside. I think Max is going to take his time. I agree with you. I think this probably does go to decision, but I wouldn't. I want to do a little bit more. I also want to see how Max is talking this week before I make that decision.
Even Zombie, I would like to see where his mindset's at.
Correct.
Even though he's leaning retirement, if he looks like he's relieved, I think he's gonna have a little fun in there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And the thing is, I don't think the refs are gonna stop it. If he has a good referee in there, which he's probably requesting, they're not gonna stop it unless he's absolutely getting mauled. Yeah. Especially for his retirement fight on his side of the world. I think they're gonna take care of him. There's a lot of reasons why I like the decision too. But I would like to see how Max is talking. Because Volkanovski did stop this guy, and he might want to stop him too. I felt bad. I hate, choosing against Zombie, but I just think Max Holloway is one of the greatest fighters in UFC history, and he's going against a guy that he does everything better than him. I think he's a better submission grappler. I'll give submission grappling to Zombie, but Max is the better volume puncher, the better striker, the more creative striker. Arguably the better boxer, the bigger man, the younger man. I think he beats him however he wants to here, man. And it hurts me to say that. But Max Holloway, but however he wants. You know, unbettable, by the way. He's minus 800, so the bookies agree with me clearly, but we'll find some value here.
We're taking the minus 800 here.
Yeah. We'll find some value for you guys.
Yeah, maybe like the overs, you know?
Yep.
Over 1.5. Well, definitely over 1.5. Definitely over 2.5. Maybe over 3, over 4.5.
I like 3.5. It's minus 145.
That's not bad.
I think that's playable.
I think that is playable.
I think that's playable. I really do. So
because I don't think Zombie's like completely washed. I mean, Volkanovski just don't care.
yeah,
Volkanovski went out there looking to try to finish Zombie. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Max is going to be necessarily out here looking to finish Zombie. But, I mean, I'm not saying that's out the realm of possibility.
if Max stops him, it's going to be late.
Yeah.
It's going to be very late,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So
Fourth, fifth round.
fourth, fifth round. So I think the 3.5 is a live play here. But I agree with you. I think Volkanovski also hits harder than Max. So it's a you know.
And that pretty much wraps up the card. That wraps up the UFC card. But we do have some boxing for you guys.
Big boxing fight this weekend. Well, two of them actually. Not really two of them. It's more like one of them, and then one of them more like a showcase fight.
2 good fights. 1 really good fight.
Yeah. So we have Oleksandr Usyk fighting Daniel Dubois this weekend. What do you think about that fight?
I like Usyk.
Yeah.
Just the initial reactions here. I like Usyk. I think Dubois is tough. I think Dubois is probably the harder hitter here. I think Dubois is gonna, it's gonna be a decent test for Usyk here, but I think Usyk is gonna be able to outbox my mans. I think Usyk is I think more than not, this is gonna go to distance. I'm not gonna be completely shocked if Usyk finishes Dubois here, but I'm leaning that he doesn't.
I agree.
And I think this is gonna be just another stop for Usyk here until my man Tyson Fury stop playing around. And let's get this fight. That's the fight people really want to see.
Yeah.
Nothing against Dubois. I think Dubois is gonna offer some things here to challenge Usyk, but not. I don't think this is gonna be a relatively difficult fight for Usyk.
No.
Usyk by far the
Superior boxer.
superior boxer. And, I'm going to lean boxer over brawler. Not brawler.
Puncher.
But puncher almost every time.
Yeah.
Unless your name is Deontay Wilder.
Correct.
Then that's the only time I'm leaning puncher over anybody. But I think Usyk is the side here. I think Usyk styles on Dubois here. If there is a finish, it is going to be late, I feel like, in my opinion. But more than likely and not, this does go to distance. And it's Usyk. It's gonna be the Usyk time. Let's get this Tyson Fury fight. That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah, here's what I will say. Dubois struggles with southpaws. And his last fight, he fought a relative no-name southpaw and got dropped. He actually got stung pretty bad, had to take 3 knees in the first round, then came back and stopped the guy, thinking like the second or third round. Dubois is an elite level heavyweight, but he is a little too slow, in my opinion, to catch Usyk. However, I think Derek Chisora is a little slower than Dubois, and Usyk couldn't pack him up. And Chisora is also 80 years old, and he couldn't pack him up. Good volume.
Good point.
That's why I'm leaning the decision here. Usyk has not stopped anyone at heavyweight. He hasn't knocked anybody out at heavyweight. But he is putting on the muscle. He also might want to be putting an exclamation point in this fight. So if you are going to bet the knockout, I'd bet it late. But I do not see it. I think Dubois is going to be very aware of who he's going against. I think Dubois is going to be mitigated in terms of trying to take chances. And I don't think Usyk is the biggest puncher. Even the guy Dubois fought last time was a bigger puncher than Usyk. So I like Usyk by decision. There's a lot of value there. I've already put a unit on it, to be quite frank with you.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I do not like his knockout prop. It's like -2 something, and I just don't think he's going to stop him. I think Dubois is going to be able to. There's going to be a lot of respect in the beginning. The first half of this fight is going to be slow. The second half is what's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
How does Dubois mitigate him? And if we're being honest, this is going to be the biggest puncher that he's fought outside of AJ.
True.
The thing is, I don't think he's as technical as AJ. But Usyk didn't really hurt AJ in those fights either. If anything, AJ was hurting him going to the body. So I could see Dubois putting on a body attack and hurting Usyk to the body. But he's not going to be able to hit him in the head. He's too slow. Usyk's too slick. But if he goes to the body, this fight gets very interesting. But with that said, Usyk via decision. I think he gets it done via decision. I think there's value in that line. I think Vegas is trying to trick you to think there's going to be a knockout because Dubois got dropped his last fight. But listen, it's heavyweight boxing, and Usyk's a cruiserweight. Let's just keep it real. He's building his body for heavyweight. I just don't know if he's going to be packing the punch to... Like, Dubois is going to respect him. If he doesn't respect him, he's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just afraid if there's going to be too much respect. That's all.
Yeah, I hope it is from both sides. I really do.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Usyk's going to come and respect him.
Usyk's going to faint, get in and out, you know.
Usyk's going to test him early, I think.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. He's a slow starter. Him and Vasily Lomachenko came out the same camp. My boy right here. You know, so they're slow starters, naturally. They get their reads and then they figure out. The thing is there going to be a lot to read on Dubois? So I like Usyk by decision in this fight.
I also like Usyk by decision. If you do have the inclination, though, to think that Usyk is gonna get him out of here, I think 7 through 12 is probably still some plus money there. If from a betting perspective, if you're feeling the knockout, I think 7 through 12. I think it does come late, if anything.
I agree.
If you want to get real frisky, 9 through 12. I think like I said, I do think it comes late, but. Gut feeling, I think it does go the distance. I am on the Usyk by decision. There is value there. If you want to live bet this fight, go right ahead. I think that, because I know the current knockout prop is like -2 something, I think. Live, that number will probably come down. So if you still like the knockout, you can take it there.
Correct.
If you do like the decision, I do recommend you take it now.
Yeah.
But,
we got it over plus 300.
Yeah, and I think that bet is good up to like 200.
Plus 200.
You know, if it's below 200, you can still get a little bit on it, but you're probably better off maybe just live betting it or taking the Usyk late stoppage. I still think that's possible, but I don't think it's the most likely scenario.
I agree. And now shifting into our other heavyweight fight, who do we have, my brother?
I don't even remember his name.
Oh. It's Jared Anderson.
There you go.
I just cannot remember his opponent's name, so we'll say that.
Listen, I knew his name was Anderson. I just couldn't remember the first name.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes. This kid is a beast.
He's good.
He's really good. Very athletic. I agree with you. I think we talked about this off camera. Matter of fact, I'll let you talk about what your thoughts on camera before I go into this.
Well, I think this is going to be a showcase fight for Mr. Anderson here. He is making a relatively quick turnaround from a fight that he just had not too long ago.
That was very close.
I think he's gonna style on this guy. I think maybe he does get the KO here again. Like I said, this is just gut. I haven't done too much research into his opponent. So this is just initial reaction here, initial thoughts. Like I said, showcase fight. I think Anderson is the side. I think he's gonna style on my boy, and I think he's gonna look good doing it.
Yeah, I think the Top Rank is doing him a favor, especially after that fight, his last fight, which was close for a while.
I also think he's doing Top Rank a favor, turning around this quickly, and
correct,
just to fight this guy.
He's gonna be the only fight on Saturday night, by the way. The Usyk, just as a heads up, guys, the Usyk fight is early. It's because it's in London.
Yeah, it's gonna be sometime in the afternoon.
So this is going to be the only fight on in the evening. So we got, I think this is a show me fight, but not even a show me fight. This is a showcase fight for Jared Anderson. Over and under 4.5 is at -110 right now. I think that's playable. But we'll see. I want to do a little more homework on this opponent before I give you guys a definitive pick on how I'm going to bet this. But Jared Anderson probably by knockout.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to disrespect the man. My man's name is Andre Rundeko.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look a little into this guy, but I don't foresee an upset. That's all.
No,
I think this is gonna be Anderson. Just initial thoughts, but I'll tweet out the official pick. We'll tweet out the official pick probably later this week.
Correct.
And that fight is gonna be on ESPN. So if you got ESPN Plus, watch it. It's gonna be a nighttime. It's gonna be an evening event. The only evening fights because the UFC card. Early morning, Usyk fight, mid-afternoon. So
Anderson late. Yep. So But that just about wraps up this episode, guys.
Yes, sir.
Episode 27 in the books, ladies and gents. You already know the routine. Follow, like, comment, subscribe, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody currently enjoying the visual part of this podcast, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, drop a comment, hit that like button.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast. Love you all. Please subscribe. It helps us out a lot. It's free 99, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, on all platforms, subscribing and commenting and liking. And we're not asking you guys for any money. We're just trying to get some more views, get some more eyes on this platform while making you money at the same time. I think that's a pretty even exchange.
Yeah, man. Listen, again, free content. All we want you guys to do is just juice the algorithm for us a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's all.
Just pump us. Just pump us a little bit. That's all.
Absolutely.
But that's all I care. That's all. Just get the likes. Drop some nice little comments. Show some love.
But episode 27 in the books. Love you guys. See you guys next week. Oh, we're going to make some money this weekend. We're going to keep you guys safe because these are, the UFC card's a dangerous card. But we're going to get you money and value everywhere else. We love you guys. Holla at ya.